tiny humidifiers are cheap and cute, sell like hotcakes, and even get promoted by huge online platforms. But do they actually work? And I don't mean just produce a visual mist, but, actually humidify? Hi, name is Train, and unlike glorified unboxers, I actually use and try to test the products I review. Crazy, I know. I ordered a whole bunch from various stores, both to have a bigger sample size and just in case there's a manufacturer's defect or one gets stolen or lost during shipping. I wasn't exactly sure how I should go with introducing all the individual humidifiers, as most don't have a model name or number, and talking about all the specs, colors, lighting options, and so on would take quite some time. People's dwindling attention spans don't help the situation either. However, I'm not monetized on YouTube, as I lack the watch hours, so if you have the time and interest, open up the playlist with my videos, over 70 reviews for you to watch, as I cannot even disable unskippable ads that YouTube might put into my video while taking all of the profits. That would be the very first thing I'll do once I hit monetization, as unskippable ads are just pure evil. So yeah, I'll just skim over without going into detail, while still giving you the opportunity to see everything for yourself in the B-roll. I do have to mention, the manuals are rather inconsistent, and something as simple as mentioning that you should pre-soak the tampon, or how exactly you should be going on with making it wet, is not always mentioned. I found that putting it in a separate cup yields the best results, as just being inside a full humidifier, even for half an hour, didn't soak all of them to the very top, and I had to turn them upside down or they wouldn't start working. And speaking of the tampon, for some reason, no one cared to mention at least the diameter in any of the manuals or product descriptions. If I'm ordering it abroad, might as well order some refills with it. Only makes sense, right? Oh, and this one deserves some extra attention, having a USB outlet where you can plug in one of those small fans. And actually, I'll have a separate video talking just about that, full USB fans, and if it's worth getting a brand name or not. Some tiny humidifiers actually come with a built-in fan, but I never received the one I ordered. It won't impact the main theme of the video anyways. Finally, some testing, as I started this video back during winter, when the air tends to dry up and I have my SwitchBot humidifier on autopilot, tucked in somewhere at the side of the room. I used 4 different humidity sensors, 2 industrial and 2 smart home ones from Xiaomi, one of which you can see in the video, and it has a tiny screen which is ideal for a time lapse. The distance is around 10 centimeters. That's like 4 inches, and the mist was actually hitting the sensor. Unless you're going to place the humidifier right under your nose, that's not realistic readings. So I moved it to 30 centimeters, or 11.8 inches, and by now I guess the SwitchBot's influence also dissipated. So in over 3 hours of work time, we have neutral to negative results. But that's just one humidifier, and we have plenty more to test. So yeah, one of them actually started smoking up right on camera. Since I had my focus dialed in on the sensor, as I was expecting a time lapse, not a fire, I grabbed my phone to film it. The next few were, thank God, uneventful, as in they didn't burn my house down, but neither did they humidify. Maybe the 21.5 cubic meter, 231 feet room is too large. That's about the size of an average bedroom, and it's located very, very close to the sensor. Well, I found a smaller 13.5 cubic meter room, aka 145, and didn't really change anything drastically. The bigger one also ruined my IKEA lag side table, giving me this big puddle, which sucks as IKEA closed down here in Ukraine since the start of the invasion. 3 times out of 5, testing resulted in a puddle. How that works? I don't know. Lastly, the smallest of the bunch decided to seppuku itself to save its humidifying honor and also burn down. In Europe they have all sorts of regulations and laws, while China on the other hand is far more or less strict. So I would think twice before leaving one of those unattended. In my bases, paseos, whatever, I mentioned that it would probably work in a coffin home from Hong Kong, and while I don't have access to one of those, I do have a cupboard. I measured it with my Hoto laser tool and set up the camera with sensors. Finally, it started to work.
While our engineers do tests to verify whether the finished products are practical.
So I guess those claims do have some merit after all. But realistically, out of the 100,000s that buy these, how many do you think live in one of these? And they get promoted by AliExpress and on TV. Is the rent really that bad in the US? Or maybe you should donate, like, comment, and support individual reviewers so you don't get sold shit.